My apologies for increases in fan noise because this video is being filmed while I have a server, Minecraft, and OBS recording in the background, so that's my bad. Anyways, there's a perfect wither defense now. Well, I guess not perfect, but just like unbypassable, and I'll explain why that is later. So in order to understand this potentially unbreachable wither defense, we need to first know how to do chest minecart tile tick suppression. Basically, if you put enough chest minecarts inside of a chunk with a ton of data, then it'll basically make it a TTS chunk. So like redstone doesn't process in it, gravity blocks don't process in it, stuff like that. So just allow me to demonstrate. So first of all, in my saved hotbar here, I have some books written by or created by Zeonite, and he told me not to save these books into my saved hotbar a few like half a year ago, but I did anyway. Sorry, Zeo. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't care now, right? Anyways, in my Discord server, I have posted a schematic of a TTS chest. That's what I named it. And this has like the most amount of data you can put in a chest minecart. That took a while to load the schematic, so that should give you an idea of how large the entity is. // paste -e, and yeah, there we go. Now I do want to mention that by default, like, this is temporary, but you can get it to be permanent with enough minecarts. It's just that what determines quote-unquote enough minecarts depends on your server. So for example, this server right here would need about 25 or 30, and a Turno server would need like 13 or 14 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've pasted 8. So 9, 10, 11, 24, and 25. So this is 25 chest minecarts, all with a ton of IMBT data inside of them. I should also mention that the minecarts do have to be separated out like this. They can't just be like on a single block. They do need to be like this, from my experience. Now, to make this easier to get consistent, I'm just gonna do a server restart, because I found that server restarts like help with this process. I don't know the exact reason why, but I don't know. I've just found that a server restart helps with getting TTS to be permanent. If you're doing this on your own server, then just like start at 10 chest minecarts and then like work your way up from there to see how many your server can handle before it like completely crashes. Yeah, I'm noticing that the console's kind of freaking out over me restarting the server because there's so much data to be saved in that one chunk. This is expected. If you're careful, this shouldn't completely break your server, and if it does, you can always, you know, reset the world and try again. Alright, the server is back up, so I'm connecting to it, and the chunk that I'm in is TTS. So I will say that I'm not sure if this is permanent or not. Like, I know you can get this to be permanent, but I'm not sure if in this particular case the minecarts are going to load back or if it's actually going to stay like this. But just to show you that this is a TTS chunk, if I try to place sand like this, then it won't fall like that. So, oh, and the chest minecarts came back. Yep. So another thing I'm going to mention is that getting the chest minecarts to be like permanent, like getting a permanent TTS chunk, is relatively inconsistent. You have to like try it a couple times before it works. So I'm just gonna keep disconnecting and reconnecting and see what happens, and I might even put like 30 chest minecarts in here. Alright, I've waited for a bit on this next attempt, and it seems that the chest minecarts aren't coming back at all. Like, they're not here whatsoever. Oh, yep, okay. The server just did oh, yep. Yeah, it's permanent. Yep, okay. That only took one relog. Wow, that's lucky. That is a fat error, and that's kind of exactly what you want when you're doing this. If you see like a massive error wall of text with like NBT tag compound, NBT tag list, like NBT something, like threads, completion, like all that stuff that's just being spammed in your console, either your server is crashed or you've succeeded. So yeah, permanent TTS is now active, and now I can show you the second exploit that actually makes a perfect wither defense possible. Basically, when you extend and retract the piston inside of these chunks, it does this. And in survival, you can't break this with your fist. You can break the block below it. You can place block inside of it and break it, but you cannot enter this area whatsoever unless this piston is broken. Now the cool thing about this block is that if I, say for example, slash summon a wither, then it doesn't do anything at all. It does nothing. And let me just demonstrate to you that withers do break blocks in TTS chunks. There's a grass block, and it broke that. So, yeah, that's pretty much the witherproof block right here. The only downside is that this can be blown up with TNT, so if I do slash summon TNT, then it will break. But this can be easily fixed by just like putting water right here, and then you can't blow it up because there's like water in front of it. And if you like put this in the context of like a massive wither wall instead of just this example, then I think this should be completely TNT proof. And one more thing, yes, I am aware that this is experimental technology. I know that there could be a flaw with this. As far as I can see, and as far as all of the testing I've done, this is immune to withers. But if you find a bypass for this, just be sure to let me know in my Discord. Also, this does not work in spawn chunks, since TTS chunks don't work in spawn chunks at all. No one has been able to get TTS chunks to work in spawn chunks, so basically withers and chunk skipping are now like mutually exclusive to each other. Like you can patch one, but then you can't patch the other. Also, massive credit to both Blonde Burns and Fishy Boy for both like co-discovering this exploit, both the chest minecart TTS and this bug here with the like ghost block 36 over here. Both of their channels are really cool, so subscribe to both of them, and that's about it. See ya.